Hello, everyone. Welcome to Haunted Encounters. I am Dallisa Hocking. I'm your host. This is our second episode. Last week was our very first one. Thank you to everybody who tuned in last week. Perhaps you're returning again this week, and to all of our new audience members. I really appreciate it. This is Haunted Encounters at the Hotel Apache, which is inside Binion's Gambling Hall in the fabulous city of Las Vegas. That's where I'm coming to you live from today. So welcome. It is April 14th. And man, we've got some stuff to talk about today. The energy is electrifying. There's a lot of polarity in the air right now. A lot of people feeling aggressive and a lot of people feeling like I'm going to go hide out. So as we kick off this show today, do me a favor and in the comments of this video, let me know, where are you watching from? I told you I'm in Las Vegas. What city and state are you in? Or perhaps you're like some of our viewers that live outside of the United States. So what country are you watching from today? Some of you may have heard of me or watched last week. I am a fifth generation psychic medium, which means I see the future, predict future and energy for people, what's coming, what they can expect to feel or experience in their life. And as a medium, I communicate with loved ones on the other side. And pre-pandemic, I was headlining a show right there inside the Hotel Apache at Binion's Gambling Hall in Las Vegas. And it's a very historic, very haunted property, which is why we started this show. The goal is for myself and my paranormal expert friends to come in and show you some stories or some clips or perhaps a photo, and we're going to weigh in and we're going to tell you what we think. But here's the thing, you're just as much as a part of the show as we are. And so we want you to comment and interact with us and give us your opinion on what you think you're seeing or hearing in today's clips. We come to you live Wednesdays, noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern time. And I see the comments are already starting to come forward. In just a moment, we're going to start looking at the different stories. I'll bring on Shannon Hinchcliffe, who is a paranormal enthusiast, and she'll be on in a second. Patrick Keller is a part of today's show. He's the host of the Big Seance podcast, and it's Patrick's birthday today. So happy birthday, Patrick. Okay, so let me know. Let's see you in the comments. Let me just take a quick peek and see where people are tuning in from today. Okay, we have Susie Marie. We have Lisa from Amarillo, Texas. Used to live in Fort Worth, Texas. I love Texas. Turtle Lake, Wisconsin. I've never been there. But, you know, we have relatives over the holidays that will mail us cheese from Wisconsin, so I'm a big fan. We have Amanda from outside of Philadelphia, Stacy from New Jersey, Maryland, Salt Lake City, Utah, West Covina, California. Letitia, welcome. Yes, Therese, we have you from Duck Creek Village, Utah. Excited to see you this weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Beautiful Buffalo, New York. We have Fresno, Roswell, New Mexico. We need to do a whole show about Roswell, New Mexico. Huntington Beach, Minnesota. Yeah, beautiful. Lots of people from Minnesota tuning in today. So welcome, everybody. You may be watching on the Binion's or Four Queens Facebook pages, perhaps Binion's YouTube channel. Maybe you're on my Spirit and Spark TV channel on YouTube, or perhaps Patrick Keller's group, The Big Seance. So wherever you're watching from today, thank you so much for joining us. A quick mention, because I like free stuff. We are going to give away a lot of stuff in today's episode, today's broadcast. So here's what I want you to do. Start tagging some of your friends. Who else likes Las Vegas? Maybe who else is a paranormal enthusiast? And comment, tag them, and let them know that we're here with this broadcast today. I'm going to give everybody a free gift just for watching today's episode or catching the replay. And I will also be doing a couple of fun things, giveaways from Hotel Apache. Okay, so keep watching. Later on in the show, after we talk about our paranormal stories and a very interesting photo that we're going to look at today, we will also be joined by Julian, the London astrologer. He's going to come on and tell you about the upcoming lucky days for this week ahead. And maybe you'll come and gamble at Binion's Gambling Hall in Las Vegas and put some of that good luck, that good mojo into practice. So it's going to be a fun show today. Let's go ahead and start off by giving you a fun historic fact. If you're like me, I've lived in Las Vegas combination for about 20 years. So I really like the history of Las Vegas and of the hotels. And so I've got a fun fact for you, and I'm going to give away our first prize. So let's take a look. I think we all need to pause for a moment and just say thank you, because now we know why we have free drinks at slot machines. When I saw that fact, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I love that there was a lot of attention paid to the little guy. Sometimes you have to be a disruptor in your industry, and I definitely think we see that with Hotel Apache and Binion's Gambling Hall. Okay, so are you ready for our first giveaway for today? I'm excited. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you a trivia question in just a moment. And here's what you're going to do to enter to win. And there's more stuff coming in the show today, so don't worry. But I'm going to ask you a trivia question. You're going to go on to the BINION'S Facebook page, and I'll show you directions here in just a second. And you're just going to go onto the page and click on the message, send them a message with your guess. Maybe you even know the answer. And Elizabeth, who's helping out today, she's going to select the winner. And you will receive a complimentary 2-night stay at the Hotel Apache. And I'm excited. Do you want to know why I'm excited? Because I'm selfishly wanting you to win so that you can take photos and videos of paranormal activity at the very haunted Hotel Apache and send it in to me so that I can feature you on the show. You see, it's a win-win all the way around. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to redeem this in just a second, just in case you lost me anywhere there. But here's the trivia question that you have to answer in order to try to win this 2-night stay at the Hotel Apache. What was the date of the ribbon cutting for Whiskey Liquor Up? I'd suggest you send in the month, a day, and the year, and Elizabeth will see who either nails it exactly or who gets the closest. But what was the date of the ribbon cutting for Whiskey Liquor Up? Okay, here's how you go ahead and submit that. Like it says, keep watching. I have more to give away later in the show. But without further ado, I want to go ahead and start taking a look at our ghost story, as well as a very interesting photo that we have for this week. And just a quick mention, everyone that's been sending in your ghost stories and the video recordings of yourself telling your stories and your photos, thank you. I have put you in my file folder, and you will be on an upcoming episode, so we're going to have a lot of fun with that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start looking at the footage and bringing on my expert friends. Hello, Shannon. How are you?
Hello, Dallisa. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You were with us last week. Thanks for agreeing to come back. We didn't scare you off.
No, super fun. Such good stories about the Hotel Apache and BINION'S for sure.
Yeah. I see we have lots and lots of comments coming in. Yeah. Oh, so the folks that are commenting with answers on the comment section, you want to head over to the BINION'S Facebook page. and message over there. That's where Elizabeth is going to be pulling that winner from. So, okay, awesome. Let's go ahead, and we're going to hear from Patrick in a minute too, but I think we just jump right in and show the first story that we're going to look at. So Tim is the general manager. We featured him on last week's episode too. He's the general manager of BINION'S in Fort Queens here in Las Vegas. He has lots of ghost stories. This one's really peculiar to me for a couple of reasons. So I'm going to go ahead and play the clip, and then we're going to come back on and talk about this. And I want everybody watching in the audience to start formulating what they make of the story as well, because we're going to be taking a look at those comments here in just a moment. Tim is a little bit soft-spoken in the video, and there is some casino noise in the background, so go ahead and turn up the volume, and let's listen to what Tim has to say.
Hi, I'm Tim Logger. I'm the general manager of BINION'S in Fort Queens, and we want to share a little bit of stuff that's happened here on our property, over on the Binion side of our property. So here's a roulette table, and several years ago we had a request from a couple from Hawaii, young couple, had a little 1-year-old baby, and they wanted to place a $65,000 bet on roulette, win or lose, red or black. And what they really wanted to do is if they won, we would give them enough money to buy a new house in Hawaii. If they didn't win, they told us, hey, you know what, we'll keep saving. We saved already, so we're going to just keep working, but we really want to try it. The owner of our company, Terry Cottle, said, you know what, I want to take that bet. So we brought him over here. We set him up at our Fort Queens property. He came down, and our owner was like, he goes, I really hope these guys win. I really feel bad if they didn't win. I want them to win. This is such a great story. And I was standing down here, and I was sitting with our marketing people, Tina and Crystal, and we're standing here, and one of our people was very intuitive to certain things with the people that have passed, and she looked at me, she goes, you know what, I'm telling you what, all the ghosts are standing here and they're laughing at you. You're going to win this, you're going to lose this bet, you're going to lose this bet, period. It's ridiculous, why are you doing it? And they're laughing at us. And sure enough, they spin the thing, they pick black, they win the money, which the owner was so happy that they won. But it's one more of those experiences that have happened in this property. And obviously, you know, we've been here since 1932. So there's a lot of things that have happened. So there's a lot of different spirits that have been in our property. And so we're really proud of the fact that we're happy they won. And it's one of those little experiences that people, you know, can like check off on their list of things that happened here that nobody else can talk about.
You will not find me betting $65,000.
No, how cool was that? I mean, first of all, I just want to hang out with Tim. That's all I want. I just want to like just talk to him. I mean, the amount of things that he has seen and done are amazing. And so when I heard this story, I was like, who does that? People do that, you know, aside from the paranormal part of it. But anyway.
Yeah. What do you make of, you know, as he said, that the woman who was standing there heard the spirits laughing? I mean, what do you make of the spirits laughing? Do you think that they knew that this couple was about to win? Do you think they were laughing at the hotel, the casino itself, because they're like, you guys are idiots? Like, what do you think? What do you make of the ghost laughing?
Well, I think it's really interesting because in that environment, for me, in that environment, there is so much going on. So the fact that that person could hear or feel or know that information is really interesting to me. The other thing that I think is interesting with that property, whether you're talking about Binion's or the hotel or just the combined property, it's clear that there is so much history there. There's so much residual energy. And what I pick up is there are a lot of still ghosts there. So the idea that they'd all converge on one spot and just kind of basically, you know, laugh and joke about the situation was really fascinating to me. You know, there was a commenter earlier that Marilyn, and she's like, oh, the Golden Gate is really haunted, which is in the same area. And one of the things that I find about going on to the Binion's property or even just that downtown area is that it is a very different energy. And so I think that sometimes it's difficult, depending on your level of experience with it, to work with residual energy, something that just feels different, or a situation that's kind of on a loop versus something that's more interactive. But it's very clear to me what Tim was talking about with this kind of intuitive staff member was very interactive and something that was going on and saying, like, I think, the personalities that I seem to pick up on there, I think they think it's funny. I mean, literally, I think that, the people that are still on that property, or the ghosts that are still on that property, have a high interest in that property, particularly. They have a high interest in what's going on. So it's not surprising, I guess, that they would come together in a weird event like that, or a big event like that. But it is pretty unique, just in my experience anyways. I don't know. What do you think, Dallisa?
Yeah, I agree. I think they just kind of find amusement, but they're definitely there. The next segment that we're going to do with the photo, I feel like even shows a little bit more proof of that. But I think what I'd like to do, I'm going to play Patrick Keller's clip and what he thinks about this. But in the meantime, while we listen to Patrick Keller's perspective on this story, I want everybody watching live right now, if you could just drop me a comment and let Shannon and I know, what do you think happened? I mean, do you think that the spirits maybe even helped this couple? So let's take a look at what Patrick, the birthday boy, has to say, and then let's see what the viewers want to weigh in with.
Hi, Patrick Keller again from the Big Seance podcast at bigseance.com. And I am so happy today to tell you that, yes, I absolutely do believe in mediumship. While I am still skeptical about a lot of things in the paranormal and about mediumship, I still believe that there are people who can do it, and that spirit and our loved ones and, those who are no longer living can communicate with us and are probably always trying. I really do think that. I myself have always tried. I try all the time. I'm not always successful at spirit communication. And I've always been a little jealous of those people sensitive to it and mediums who really can communicate. So I believe that story. And I bet it was pretty cool to experience. I talk to a lot of psychics and mediums on my podcast, and I learn about how all of them work and how different everybody is, and how different psychics and mediums or just sensitives tune into that kind of thing. I believe it probably really happened. And again, cool story for that family.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks, Patrick. I saw Trent commented and said, I think the ghost helped them. I'm with you.
I want to believe that. I want to have that happen for me. I mean, I used to play poker a ton, and I used to play in Binion's a ton, and nobody was helping me. I'll just tell you that much.
So. They're keeping the lights on with your contribution.
Yes, exactly.
Well, we'll have, as I mentioned earlier in the show, Julian, the London astrologer, will let us know like the luckiest day of the week. So in case anybody's watching this that wants to go place a bet, that'll be great. So, okay, perfect. Well, let's move on to the next piece of paranormal evidence, I will say, for this week's episode. It's a photo. And so I'm going to show everybody a clip, and it's going to be the photo that is expanded out, and then it's going to show it zoomed in, okay? So I want everybody to pay attention to what's in the middle of the photo, because Shannon, of course, I want your input. Patrick's going to give me his input, but the viewers out there too, what do you think is in this photo? This was taken in the Apache showroom, which is incredibly haunted. I was doing 4 live shows there a week, doing live audience readings. And it was jam-packed with spirits and ghosts from corner to corner, wall to wall. So this photo does not surprise me, but let's go ahead and take a quick peek at this. Shannon, what?
That
what
is so cool. I just have to say, so what was the context? Was somebody off to the side taking photos, or did somebody send it to you?
Yeah, it was somebody that was there to watch my show. And they were just snapping pictures before the show started, and they noticed right away that they had captured something on camera. I mean, to me, it looks like these big angel wings, but viewers, go ahead and start commenting and let us know what you think is in this photo. But what do you make of it?
Well, I think it's interesting because if you look at the whole photo, you can see it almost looks like there's movement in the photo. It's very, very bright. And so a lot of times when I've seen anomalies caught on either camera or video, you'll see a change or like even a mist or something kind of a little bit more diffused than that. But it's a really intense, so much so that it takes out part of the person that's behind it or in it, right next to it. And then when you look around, you'll see there's other lighting areas that look a little different, but nothing that looks like that. I mean, that is a very intense, I would say, I think it's captured something, whether or not it's an angel or whether or not it's a guide or, somebody on someone's spirit team. I don't know. But I will say when I look at, when I've been a part of a visual thing where we've caught it, there's an intensity, higher beings, in my opinion, are very, very high vibration. There's a very, very intense, to me, they're represented in white, and it's a blinding white light. It's very different than just some other anomaly you might get. And the same kind of goes for less than light. So when you have something that's more intense, it can be darker sometimes. So I believe that it's definitely something that you've captured that's of the light, and it could be an angel. I have never seen or witnessed that myself, but it's definitely something not a light anomaly. That's what I would think.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think that there is something on film that's captured. Patrick has a little bit of a different take, but I'm going to show Patrick's thoughts here because in his video, he actually shows us an example of a photo that he has that's similar. Oh, and I just got chills when I said that. So let's go ahead and play Patrick's clip and see what's happening in his photo. And then we'll take a look at the comments as well from our viewers.
All right, Patrick Keller again. And for this angel photo in the showroom, I have to be annoying at sometimes. I just do. I am not so sure I see angel in this photo. It really does look to me like some kind of long exposure or someone who made a quick move. And while I can't see a before or after photo, it really does look like someone like just flipping their hair really quickly or something like that. And it just got caught in a long exposure. It does look very unusual though. You don't see too many photos that have that kind of quick motion like that of people flipping their hair wherever they go. But I definitely don't see angel. I guess I just see some kind of anomaly in a photo. Do I believe in angels? I probably would say no, more than anything, because to me, angels are more connected to like religion and dogma and things like that. And I'm not so much into that. But I do believe in spirits who watch over us and angelic beings, not necessarily an angel that is going to have wings and, stereotypical traditional angels like we think of. I've talked to a lot of people and had a lot of guests on my show who do. And I love listening to everybody's experiences and interpretations of who comes to visit them or who's looking after them or watching over them. But I do have to say about this picture, it does remind me of a photo that someone sent into my blog years ago when I was just blogging. And it reminds me of this photo. I'm going to show you this photo. It is of a basketball team, and you can see a blur that is kind of similar to the blur in the photo. And It's like, do you see a foot? I'm not even sure if I see a foot, but is it someone who was running and just sprinting really quickly behind those chairs with the girls, the players, and the photo just made it look like that? I'm not sure. That would be what I would try to explain, but it does look like a really interesting ghostly photo. And I've always loved this photo. And that's kind of what that photo from the showroom made me think about. So I am glad to be participating in this show again with Dallisa. And I wanted to remind you that my podcast is at bigseance.com, and it's the Big Seance Podcast. So I'll see you next time.
Could you see the blur of the person like behind the team? That's amazing.
Yeah. No, that was super cool. And I totally dig Patrick and having, his explanations too. I will say, so there's a couple people who talked about that and made comments on, that like Marie had said that looked like there was wings, like you had said. I thought so too. And then Letitia said, like I was saying, there's movement. Letitia said, it looks like it's flying by. And I think that's different than kind of my opinion, is different than kind of an overexposure. What's funny is there's somebody on the chat that said, definitely not just a light anomaly. That's Michelle Pardee. And I know her, and her major was in photography. So it's fun to get different, opinions related to that. So there's some questions too from Douglas and Marie. Like, do you remember, and I'm guessing with 4 nights a week and doing readings, you're not going to remember who you read or whatever, but do you remember anything unique about that night, or maybe that row, or if you had done a reading for anyone there that something like that would have shown up?
It's interesting. I'll have to, I know who that, I'll call them the wings, were over in the audience. Let me touch base with her and see if she recalls anything, and then I can include it on a future episode. But yeah, I remember being on stage and feeling like people's animals, and people that had stayed at the hotel, and people that had worked at the hotel, and people's loved ones that had passed away. I mean, when I tell you the room was crowded, the room was crowded. So I'll check on that, but it's a great question. Yeah. Perfect. Before we let you go, Shannon, because I know we didn't do a great job of giving you an introduction today, but you used to host and conduct ghost tours and in very haunted locations. Do you have any tips on how viewers may be able to start communicating in a safe way or capturing information, from the other side?
I think that's a really good question. Different people have different opinions on whether or not you should have, and it depends on your belief system also, whether or not you should have, a protection prayer or a protection intention to make sure that you have kind of protection from whatever entity, being, structure that you feel, whether it's love, universe, God, so that you kind of have a feeling of comfort and safety around you. There are situations where I have seen attachments to people, and it's pretty infrequent and pretty rare that you go to a haunted property and that something like that would happen. But there are things like that can happen, or just a general drain. So I would go in with a good intention and protection to whatever extent that the person wants to do that. I'd also grab a buddy. One thing, at least one buddy, not too many buddies if you're doing the work, because it's a good opportunity. We bring whatever our natural intuitive or developed, whatever we've worked on for our developed intuition, and that may be something different than someone else feels. So I would oftentimes, I'm not the emotional part. I wouldn't get all of the, heavy emotional feelings or the crying, but I would go with people who would get that. And it's amazing how much you can talk yourself out of pretty much anything that you see or feel or hear. But when you're combining that with someone else's experience and you're able to kind of validate some of those things, I think it's much more powerful. And then I think the last thing I would say generally is just to be respectful and to go with positive intent. Some of the things I get really frustrated by and seeing and hearing are this kind of like, people want some really good physical evidence. So it's like, where are you? Come on out. Oh, you want to push me around? Push me around. And that's just rude. I mean, like, it's disrespectful and rude. So I think going into these locations, a lot of these beings that are still here or earthbound are in situations that aren't great. There's a lot of things that we could talk about with that. But, you wouldn't want to go into anyone's house or anyone's place and be like, oh, yeah, hand it over, just be respectful. And I think that if you are more of an observer and you have a respectful intent, I think the likelihood of having a positive experience is higher, for sure.
Yeah. They make excellent points. I love that idea about bringing someone with you. You and I are going to do a ghost hunt over at the Hotel Apache, and we'll be capturing footage and videos and talking about our experiences, and we'll share those in future episodes. But all great suggestions. And after you go and into a haunted location, or you feel like you've had an experience with the paranormal, make sure you are clearing and cleansing your energy. However it is that you want to do that, and you can always, people can send me a message and ask about that. But there's different ways of doing it. But showering and asking the water to clear your energy is helpful, because sometimes you can have a little hitchhiker that goes with you after you leave a haunted location.
Or after you leave a haunted location that's really intense, you can just bring that energy with you, even if it's not an active anything. It can be very intense, and usually it is very draining. So I would also add hydrate and cleanse, just like you said, and it'll really help kind of get all of that just whatever it is, energy off of you. So.
Yeah, beautiful.
I just want to say, too, I was watching the comments. So Ronnie says that he or she, I can't tell, I think, likes Binion's ghosts a lot better because he always gets the best night's sleep there. So I love that, because when I go down there, I want to make sure I can at least sleep.
Yeah, the rooms are beautiful. We showed a couple pictures earlier when we did the live giveaway, but yeah, they're really nice rooms. Next week, we're going to have a clip from somebody who stayed in one of the rooms that had her own experience. And so that'll be part of next week's episode. Shannon, hopefully you'll agree to come back next week. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Excellent. Let's keep going. This is so fun.
Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back over to Patrick. He's going to give us his tips. But Shannon, we'll catch you on next week's episode.
Thanks, Dallisa. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
My tips for reaching out to spirit for this week would be to, whether you're in your home or just some other location, feel free and feel comfortable, and try to get comfortable, I guess I should say, just opening up to whatever may or may not be there as far as spirit goes. If you're having experiences, I often suggest this to people who contact me having uncomfortable experiences or unwanted activity in their homes. I suggest to just be open to communicating and get over the I feel silly because what if nothing's there part of it, and just communicate. And, sometimes I think there have been examples of families and homeowners being able to reach an agreement or just having communication. Look, you make me uncomfortable sometimes. Can I ask that you no longer do this or do that? And I just wanted to let you know that I am going to have respect for your boundaries, if you can respect my boundaries, or even if it's nothing negative, it's something completely positive and you enjoy their presence. You can say, hey, I think it's really cool that you're here. I know that you feel like this is your space, and I want to give this space to you or allow you to have this space. And, thank you for your presence and welcome. You never know what could happen. It could open up this really cool communication or relationship with spirit. So that would be my tip for this week, even though that seems kind of really out there. Again, I'm Patrick Keller of the Big Seance podcast at bigseance.com, and I'll see you next time.
Patrick is awesome. Thank you, Patrick, for your contributions this week. I'm going to bring Elizabeth on here in just a moment. As you know, earlier in the show, if you've been watching, we did a live giveaway for a 2-night stay at the Hotel Apache. And Elizabeth, welcome in. I'd love for you to announce. Elizabeth has been helping produce the show and bring it all together. She's been the lady behind the scenes. So thank you for everything that you've done to make this possible. And would you like to tell us who won the Facebook live viewer contest today?
I would be absolutely thrilled to announce this. I am going to start with thank you, Dallisa, for doing this show. It is incredibly entertaining, eye-opening, and enlightening, and we are embracing this wholeheartedly. And with that said, hello, everyone. My name is Elizabeth. I am the social media coordinator for Binion's Gambling Hall and Hotel, and I would like to congratulate Jeremiah on winning our 2-night stay at the Hotel Apache. Jera, you were our first correct answer through our Facebook Messenger, and we will be messaging you, telling you how to collect your prize. Thank you to everyone who participated and everyone who is watching the show today. We appreciate it very, very much.
Awesome. And I'm going to tell them right now that even if you weren't that individual that won that piece of it, I'm going to now go in and tell you how you can get your free gift for this week and how you can enter to win. We're actually going to give away 3 more 2-night stays. So thank you, Elizabeth. I know you're busy on the back end watching everything, and I'm sure a bunch of people are getting ready to enter this next part of the contest. So thanks for jumping on today.
Thank you, and have a great day, Dallisa.
Yeah, thanks, you too. Okay, prize time. I love prizes. I love giveaways. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, there's a couple things we're going to do here. I'm going to tell you how you're going to enter to win one of the 3 of we're doing 2-night stays, but there's 3 of them. So you could be one of the 3 winners for this week. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to tell you about the gift that everyone gets this week. And it's fun, and it has to do with manifesting more money and abundance and luck and joy. So I'm going to tell you about that in a second. But remember, we still have Julian, the London astrologer, who's going to give us his lucky days. So let's start off by doing the prize intro. We have to. Come on. It's our fun little video segment. Okay. Are you ready? So if you would like to win one of the 2-night stays at the historic Haunted Hotel Apache, here's what you're going to do. I created a little slide. You don't have to worry about memorizing this. And you can always rewatch this video. You can always go back and look at it again. Or if you're on your phone, you could take a screenshot of this, okay? So here's what I want you to do. There's a website. It's tinyurl.com/Binion's prize. It's a form. You just fill out a form. It's really simple. There's only a couple things that we're asking for. The deadline to enter is April 16th of 21. So you've got until end of day Friday. So basically 24 hours to fill out that form. That's all you have to do. No strings attached. So let me go ahead and show you that website that we want you to visit, okay? You're going to need a code word for both that form as well as the free gift I'm giving you. It's our way of knowing that you tuned in. It's a way to reward our audience members, regardless if you tuned in live or you watched it, same day, next day. But your code word for this week is money. 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 I try to make it as easy as possible. Money is your word for this week. So that's how you redeem it. Don't worry, at the end of the show, I'm going to loop it again so you know how to redeem and enter to win the prizes and redeem your gift for this week. The gift that I'm giving you this week is actually from the very talented Christina Barron. She is an RTT hypnotherapy practitioner, and she has designed a very deep, beautiful meditation that we're going to do together online, so you can live anywhere. And I'm going to give you a free class pass. Now, why do you want to go to this class? Because if you come to this class, it's all about unlocking more money, abundance. It's not anything too woo-woo, I promise. It's about taking you into a deeper state of relaxation so that you can release any blocks that you've had around making money, keeping money, opportunities to earn money, whatever makes you feel like you're abundant and that your cup is full. And so if any of that sounds good to you, you're going to go to spiritandspark.com and you're going to click on ghosts, and there's a little form on there. But don't worry, I made a little video on how to see that. Let me go ahead and show that to you because I know it gets a little bit complicated. Here we go. Again, your code word for the hotel stay, the complimentary stay at Hotel Apache, to win one of those, and for my free gift, is money. Money. Okay, now what I want to do before we close out, I'm going to take you over to Julian, the London astrologer. He's also a bit soft-spoken in this video clip, so just make sure you turn up the volume on your device. And then I have written down what the lucky days are that he gives us, so I'll just quickly recap those when I come back on. And then I'll show you again how to enter to win the prizes and redeem your gifts this week. So let's go ahead and get your money ready because you're going to need this information. Get your pen and paper for your lucky days. Maybe 65,000 on black. I don't know.
Hi, this is Julian Venables, the London astrologer, with your luckiest days from the 14th to the 21st of April. On Wednesday, the 14th of April, Venus moves into Taurus. This is a very productive time. It's a very stabilizing of the feelings and emotions. Something about appreciating life a lot more starts to happen now, and will go on until the 8th of May. On Thursday, the 15th, the Sun in Aries makes a very good aspect to Jupiter in Aquarius. This is a time of self-assurance and knowing. A trustworthy time. Having an optimistic and confident outlook will do you a lot of good. On Saturday the 17th is probably the luckiest day of the week. Mars trines Jupiter. This is about having new ideas and new innovations. It's about being innovative and inventive. It's about pushing forward with your vision for humanity. Later in that day, Mercury, the messenger, the communicator, firstly aligns to Jupiter, which will be bringing people together with knowledge, and then it'll align with Mars, which is all about clever ideas, spacious thinking, and positive and uplifting communication. Put all that together, and that's a very interesting, uplifting fire element and air element day. Saturday the 17th. Monday the 19th, Mercury moves into Taurus, followed by the Sun moving into Taurus. The energy now starts to slow down and become more stabilized. It's about now achieving objectives. It's about sustaining and preserving what's been started in the last few days. It's about steadying things up. It's about firming things up. So this is very, like, things will slow down a bit to become more earthy, which is very Taurus. And on Tuesday the 20th, it is the first quarter moon in Leo, squaring the Sun in Taurus. This again will identify and help to bring about more sustaining and preserving qualities of what was started earlier in the week. I hope you find these dates useful, and I look forward to giving you some more next week. And by all means, find me for a reading. My name is Julian Venables, the London astrologer. My website is londonastrologer.com. Bye for now.
I love Julian. He's been on my YouTube channel a few times, and I actually really love astrology and the placement of planets and their transits, their movements, because they really can help you to make decisions. So astrology is a lot of fun. To recap that quickly, on the 14th, which is today, it's good for being productive and for practicing gratitude. Tomorrow is trusting yourself and being more confident. The 17th is considered the luckiest day of the week. So the 17th is the date you want to circle on your calendar. It's a great day for new ideas moving forward and positive communication. And then the 19th and the 20th are going to be very slow and steady. They kind of reminded me of like the tortoise and the hare, except this is the tortoise. So that's going to be the 19th and the 20th. So I'm going to say, if you want to come down and gamble and try your luck, listen, it's no guarantee, right? Nothing ever is. I would say come on the 17th, or, you know, the energy leading up to or departing from the 17th. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So a special thank you again to my experts that joined me on today's show, as well as Elizabeth, who dropped by to say hello. Everybody that tuned in live and commented. But if you're catching the replay, do me a favor and drop a comment and still move along with the show and comment like you're watching it in real time. I'm going to show you again how to claim your gift for this week, as well as enter to win one of those 2-night complimentary stays at the historic Haunted Hotel Apache in Las Vegas. And if you haven't noticed, above my head for some of this broadcast is the number. We'd love for you to stay there, and then you can go to spiritandspark.com, submit your ghost story, and you might just be featured on an upcoming episode. So catch me on Spirit and Spark TV on YouTube. I will be back tomorrow on my YouTube channel with Planets and Predictions, which is more about what is happening in the collective energy. And I'll be back next week on Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, for another episode of Haunted Encounters. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today.